guys, welcome back. It's Mrs. Peterson, that lady who teaches art, and today we are going to draw a pop bottle, and we're going to use our pencil to create the shapes, the values, the shades, and the shadows that make up this bottle and make it look realistic. So you're going to start with a photo of a glass bottle. In real life, we know that the bottle has a circle for a top, but when I see it from the side view, it looks more like an oval. And we're going to draw the shape of the bottle. You're going to get to use your paper, and you can decide if you want your paper to be the tall way, we call that portrait, or the long way, landscape. To me, it makes the most sense to have it be the tall way since the bottle is tall. And I want to use my space. I don't want to make my bottle really tiny up here. I want to try to use my space and make it as big as it is in the reference photo. So I'm going to have these two side by side, and I have my to-do list. My first thing to do is to draw the shape. So I'm going to get the shape of the bottle drawn on here. When I'm looking at the bottle, I see that the top is flat across and it has like an oval out for that top lip part. The next part is also kind of an oval, but it's thicker. It's not as thin and long. So I want to come on both sides, and I'm going to make that thicker. And it's okay to make your lines a little sketchy. And then you can bring that across. And then the next part is like the neck of the bottle, and it pretty much goes straight but a little bit out on both sides. It's going to be longer than what I just did. Straight down and then out on both sides. Okay, the next part on the bottle, it's really going to bow out and then start to curve back at the end there. In golf and in baseball and softball, we take practice swings, and I can do that same thing here. I can kind of feel how that shape feels, how it bows out, and it will help me to get my swing right or my sketch line right. Okay, then at the bottom here, this line, this band that goes across here, we know that that's a straight line, but when I see it from the side, because the bottle is curved, it looks like a curved line. Don't be afraid to turn your bottle upside down if you need to. I mean, sideways if you need to get that curve right. I'm right-handed, and it's easier for me to draw a curve from the side like that. And then the next part would be like straight down on both sides for that label. Okay. And then that curve is going to follow again, the same curve here. So I might want to check my curve from before. And then the next part of my bottle is the longest part. Okay, so if I think about how big this part was, it's at least 2 times the size of that band part. I'm just going straight down. And then the bottom of my bottle has some curves. I see a curve across here, one. I see another one here that's a thicker, and then a thinner, and another thin. So I want to start with my thick. Start with one line. That's my curve. And it goes straight down. And if you run out of room, you can just stop, or you can go back up into your bottle. There's my thicker. Then I have my thinner one. Straight down on both sides. Little thinner area. And then I have one more thin area. The bottom is curved. It's not flat. We know that it sits flat on the table, but because it's round, it looks like it has a curve to it. Okay, once we have the shape of our bottle, that is our first thing to do on our to-do list. Our next thing is to get our horizon line. Our horizon line is the line where, if it was outside, where the sky comes down and touches the ground. But if we're inside, it's where the wall meets the top of the table in our view. And so when I look at this horizon line, it looks like it goes through about the bottom of the neck, but I don't want to draw through the bottom once I get there. It is easier for my arm to go straight down than to go side to side with my line. So I'm going to twist my paper, and I'm going to go across right there. And then that is my horizon line. Okay, then on my to-do list, it says shade above or below. So when I look at the bottle, behind it, it looks like it's darker behind and lighter below. So I'm going to shade above the line. And I'm just going to use hatching, which is probably our quickest shading technique, where I just do diagonal lines from one side to the other. And I'm just leaving it kind of a light gray color. it's up to you. Remember, the darker you go, the longer it's going to take you, which isn't a bad thing. I'm trying to do this quickly for the video. So I'm just going to use my pencil side to side. I'm going to be careful when I get to the line, but I'm just going to keep going. Careful around your bottle. And then if you get outside your lines a little bit like I did, you can just clean it up with your eraser. All right, our next thing to do is going to be our shading on the object. So that means all the shades that we see, all the shapes we're going to draw on there, and then we're going to shade them in. So I'm going to start right up at the top, and I see a really dark part right here. And I'm just going to go and I'm going to find all the black that I see on the bottle. And there's like a little L right here. And I'm just going to make all those little black pieces all the way down the bottom. See two little bubbles right there. And sometimes students think, well, it's not going to look perfect if I put all these little weird little lines on it. But actually, it looks a lot more realistic if we draw what we see and not what we think. Over here. Looks like there's some darker areas on the edge of the bottle than on the rest of it. There's definitely some like stripes that are ending up kind of looking like a little bit triangular shaped here when we get all the values on them. Okay, on this side I see kind of sharp there, little triangle there. Not too much black on the label part of it. Just a little bit here and there. And then the bottom looks like it has some of those similar shapes where it's got dark on the outside. Looks like it comes a little shadow right there. It gets lighter as it comes down. And then I think there's some darkness right here. On this side, it looks like that comes all the way down too. And maybe just a little corner right here. Oh, the darkness. All right, and those are going to be our black shades. Now we're going to start over and we're going to do our dark gray shades. So we're looking from the whole bottle where there's dark gray, and I see a little bit of dark gray right up here. It's actually kind of up into my horizon line. And I want to make sure that I am going lighter than I just did. I think the part I just made was maybe a little too dark. Just trying to capture those dark gray areas that are on our thought bottle. It's pretty much dark gray all around this shape and all along here. And maybe a little bit right in here. Okay, then it's dark gray right here. And I have dark gray all through this part of the bottle. I think I forgot some shades over here. Add those. And then a bunch of these are dark gray. So I want to see how they look. They're skinnier at the top and they get wider at the bottom. They follow the shape of that bottle. Kind of triangular shaped a little bit. And then it looks like there's some dark shades up in here. And definitely a bunch of dark shades over here.
Aubrey Canagator, please come to Angie's office. Aubrey Canagator, please come to Angie's office.
And then it looks like there's some dark right in here. Darkening at the top of this. The bottom of this. Let's see. Definitely some dark on the side of the label here. Dark on the side over here, and then coming down, it goes even further out. And then it looks like the side over here is pretty dark. Down in here I have a shape back there for the bottom of the bottle. It's pretty dark. Right along this edge. And then this thicker part definitely has some darkness on this side. It gets much lighter on the other side. This next band, pretty dark throughout, especially right along the edge. And then right at the bottom of this last band. Alright guys, that is part 1 of how to draw a glass bottle. Join us for part 2 as we continue this drawing. I can't wait to see what you create.